Have you ever tried to run a Google Ads campaign but struggled with poor results? Don't worry, you're not alone. I even speak to professional marketers who struggle with Adwords. It's not exactly the most user-friendly platform, is it? Luckily for you, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I would set up a campaign, step by step, which has helped me generate thousands of leads and sales. So, what are we waiting for? Let's dive in and I'll show you how. First, log into your Google AdWords account. If you don't have one, simply go to ads.google.com and sign up for an account. Once in your account, you want to go over and press the New Campaign button. This will give you a range of options to select from. Depending on what you're trying to achieve, you'll want to select an objective. Most people will either select sales or leads, as you'll want to generate one of these. However, if you're a brand, for example, you may want to raise awareness, so you could go with something like an awareness campaign. Typically, I would select something like without a goal audience, as it gives me slightly more flexibility. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to select leads, as this is one of the objectives that my business uses. As you can see, I have two goals already set up here, which are lead forms and purchases. If you notice an error like this, then normally this means there's an issue with one of your tag installations, so you'll need to go and resolve this before launching your campaign. These conversion goals are extremely important as they help you and Google optimize the campaigns. Without them, you won't know what's working and what's not. More importantly, Google won't, so you have to have this configured first. If you're not sure about how to set these up, I've put a link in the description showing you how. Next, we have the campaign type. As you can see here, there's various types of campaigns. You have search, which are the ads that show up when you perform a search on Google. Then Performance Max, which uses all of Google's assets and will select where best to place to serve your ads. Then we have Display, which are the ads that you'll see on other people's websites. I personally don't like this type of campaign, unless you're either retargeting your products or you have an objective like brand awareness. Next, you have Shopping, which displays relevant product when you are doing a search for a product on Google. Then there's Video, which will enable you to promote a YouTube video to an audience that you believe will be interested in your products or services. Finally, we have Demand Gen, which will display your ads on other platforms like Gmail. For this example though, I'm going to select Search, as this will help generate the best results, especially if you're still new to AdWords and getting used to the platform. Select your goal for your business, whether that's website visits to a form, lead form directly on Google, or even a phone call. I'm going to select website visits for this example, as I have a landing page which is optimized for conversions. Press Next, and this will lead you into the bidding strategy. There are various options here such as conversions, conversion value, clicks, and impression share. I typically recommend going with conversions, as this is the best option if you're new to AdWords. Conversions, as it states, is a conversion based on your goal. For example, a form submission. Conversion value is similar, but it allows you to attach a value to it. So if you have different products or services, they might all have different costs. Also, just leave set a target cost per action off. Next, you will see customer acquisition. This is a relatively new addition to AdWords that allows you to optimize your campaigns towards new and/or existing customers. This can be useful for some businesses. However, I recommend leaving this off to start. Once you feel more comfortable with the platform, you can always go back and enable this feature and optimize it for your customer type. Now, press Next and you'll see the networks. By default, search and display are both selected. Google will try and convince you it's an easy way to get additional conversions at a lower cost. However, this simply isn't the case. It's actually a quick way for you to spend your budget with fewer conversions. So let's turn this off. Next, you have the location, so you can set where your business operates. If you're a company that operates nationwide like myself, you could select the whole country, for example. You might be able to operate internationally also, so you can add in the extra countries here. If you operate from a physical location, you may wish to target a radius of your location that your business operates. It's important that you select under target people in or regularly in your targeted locations. This just ensures that you are targeting people in these locations instead of people visiting or actively searching for a location. Languages is pretty standard, just select the languages your business serves to. I focus on English, so I'll leave this selected. For audience segments, we're going to leave this set to observation. I don't recommend setting any targeting segments at this stage, especially when you're still new to learning the platform. Make sure you select Turn Off Keyword Match Types under Broad Match Keywords. This will match keywords that could not be directly related to what you're targeting. If one of your keywords is Holiday Park Lake District, for example, having this turned on will mean you appear for searches with just Holiday Park or just Lake District, which might not be relevant. Also, keep off use only assets I provide directly for my ads under the automatically created assets section. This means that Google won't create the ads for you. I prefer to have full control over my ads, and I see better results this way. Finally, we have more settings. First in here we have ad rotation. I would stick with optimize, prefer best performing ads. Then we have start and end dates. I typically leave my ads running continuously. However, if you're running ads for, say, a Black Friday offer, you may want to set an end date for this. Ad schedule can be really useful for companies that operate better on certain days and times. Have a think about this, as it can save money from your budget if you know when your customers are most active, say over the weekend. You can leave campaign URL options for now, as they're only needed when you become more familiar with the platform and need to start adding things like UTM tracking. Leave brand restrictions empty, as it requires you to have a broad match enabled. And as I've explained, this can lead to wasted clicks. Click next and you'll then see the keyword section. This section will enable you to enter keywords that you want to appear for when a potential customer does a search. Really important here that you take the time to research your keywords and have enough search volume to ensure that they get results. I like to use the keyword planner tool here, as it gives me suggestions based upon what I think will work. Once you find relevant keywords, just select the ones you want to use and copy these into your campaign. I also like to use tools like SE Ranking or Keyword Anywhere to help me find relevant keywords that are going to work. There are various types of keyword matches you can use here: exact, broad, and phrase. Adding brackets around your keyword will mean the keyword has to match exactly. This is the option we want to go with, which will help you when you're learning the platform. Then we have phrase match, which will have speech marks around. This will match your keyword, but can also put keywords after or before that might not be relevant. Then we have broad, which has no brackets and can match any of your keywords in any order, so it can bring a lot of unwanted clicks. Once you've entered all your keywords, just name the ad group, as you may want to add multiple groups with different keywords. This just makes it much easier to manage afterwards. Next up, we have the ads. You can pop in the URL of the website and it will help with suggestions, but I always like to write my own. Starting with your headlines, these will be the unique selling points of your business, such as award-winning or a cheap starting price. Anything that will grab a user's interest. Feel free to fill these up if you have a lot of great selling points. We then have description, giving someone a reason to click, like book a free tour of our amazing park with a meal, just as long as it has a call to action within. Again, you can add as many as you want here, and it will loop through them and optimize for the ones that are getting the most clicks and conversions. You can also have a quick search on Google and check out some similar businesses that are running ads. Just search in a different area so you don't relate your ads too much to your direct competitors, but this can be good for ideas. The next section, starting with images, are all here to help increase your optimization score, which will in turn help you increase the performance of your campaign. Just select an image that is relevant to your keywords. Similar to image, you want to add a logo under the business name and logos. To do this, you just need to verify your company with Google, just to confirm you own the business. This again will improve your score, so it's certainly worth doing. Site links are great at increasing your score, so certainly worth adding. These also are really useful for directing more conversions. They are the extensions that display underneath your ads that direct users to various pages on your website. For example, I might want to direct people to our lead generation page, so you can add the page name and URL of the page. Next, we add the callouts, which is another word for call to action. Here, we want to give a user a reason to click on your ads. We can use actions like low site fees and discount offers. These are really helpful for generating the clicks and conversions. You do have a whole selection of additional asset types here, which will definitely be beneficial. While you're starting out with your AdWords journey though, you might want to leave this section so you feel more comfortable. You can then make changes to your campaign at any time and add these additional assets in. Once you're happy with everything, click next to go to the budget section. Now Google will always give you a recommendation of what it feels you should be spending. Take this with a pinch of salt though, and only set a budget you are comfortable with. If you only want to spend $10 a day, then set that. It's just important you spend what you want to spend within reason. You can also increase this over time when you start generating results. Now you can set your campaign live and start the process of checking daily for conversions, or if you're like me, every 10 minutes. I have to stress that this is only half the battle. Once you have your campaign live, you need to look at optimization, looking at what keywords are working or assets. This part will help you spend your money on what's driving the most conversions. Another really important step is the optimization of the landing page we're sending traffic to. I cannot stress this part enough. A great campaign alone is not enough to drive conversions. For tips on how to improve your landing page conversions, I have a great video on this, which you definitely will want to check out here.